Whether you believe in the supernatural or not, death is a taboo subject matter that is generally difficult to talk about openly. Well, talking about death in the context of real estate is no different. When is death pertinent fact that must be disclosed to a potential buyer? When is it inconsequential and no requirement exists to voluntarily bring it up? This is one of those unique instances where real estate practice and superstition intersect. Generally, a seller's agent has no affirmative duty to voluntarily disclose information to a potential buyer regarding a prior occupant whose death, from any cause, occurred on the real estate more than 3 years prior to the purchase offer. But they do have an affirmative duty to voluntarily disclose a death that occurred within 3 years. Thus, when it comes to disclosure of death, you need to be aware of when it occurred as the different rules apply. There's another critical rule to be aware of. When a death on a property for some reason adversely affects the market price of the property, then it needs to be disclosed, regardless of when the death occurred. For instance, if the property was the scene of a grisly murder, which lowered the property's market value due to the stigma of the deaths, this fact needs to be disclosed even when the deaths occurred greater than 3 years ago. Similarly, on direct inquiry by the buyer or the buyer's agent about deaths on the property, the seller's agent is to disclose their knowledge of any deaths on the real estate, no matter when they occurred. An intentional concealment of a death after a buyer makes it a direct inquiry is a breach of the seller's agent's general duty and the buyer's agent's agency duty. Also, an inquiry by the buyer into deaths on the property indicates a death on the premises is a material fact, which might affect the buyer's use and enjoyment of the property. Thus, an inquiry by the buyer, indicating they are superstitious, imposes an affirmative duty on a buyer's agent to investigate or recommend an investigation into any deaths before an offer is made.